Hare Krishna. So, welcome you all for this Gita Wisdom 21 day series. And in this series, we'll be exploring the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita. And I heartily congratulate all of you for participating in this challenge. All of us like to take challenges. Why not take the challenge of studying the most precious knowledge which the Lord has given to us? That is the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita. And in this new year, let's have a new beginning. This is year 2025 and we are stepping into the year 2026. Let this year 2026 be a different change for you, an opportunity to grow, opportunity to rise and shine in life. So why should we study Bhagavad Gita? We should study Bhagavad Gita to gain clarity in life, to understand the purpose of life, to become more efficient in our work, to have satisfaction in our heart, and many more reasons because of which we should study Bhagavad Gita. I personally have been studying this Bhagavad Gita since last 20 years and I'm still studying. There is no limit to understanding Bhagavad Gita. Like the ocean, more you dive inside, more jewels you can discover. If you're on the surface, you may get some fishes on the surface, but you go deep, you get jewels. Similarly, people superficially study Bhagavad Gita, just chanting the shlokas and so and so. But if you dive deep, understand the meaning of the shlokas, understand how to apply it in our life, then there will be transformation in our lives. So let's begin the study of Bhagavad Gita. Today is an introductory session. Today we will be discussing why Bhagavad Gita was spoken, first of all. To understand this, we have to go back 5,000 years ago. 5,000 years ago, the history of Mahabharata was written. Mahabharata is not just a fictional story, but it is the real history of India. Our country is called Bharat. Why Bharat? Bha means light, the light of knowledge. Rata means to be engaged. The people in this country were engaged in the light of transcendental knowledge. That's why this land is called Bharata. So 5,000 years ago, there was a dynasty called as Kuru Vamsha. One of the ancestors of the Kurus was Bharata. There is Bharata, there is Kuru, there is Pratipa, and then there is Shantanu. And this dynasty was a glorious dynasty. They ruled the entire planet. The country of India, the glory of India was spread across the planet. There was only one flag of the Kuru Vamsha, and the headquarters was Hastinapura, which is now called New Delhi. And in this family, in this kingdom, Shantanu was ruling, and Shantanu begot a wonderful son by the name Bhishma. Bhishma was son of Ganga Devi and Shantanu. Then Shantanu married Satyavati and got two glorious children called Chittangada and Vichitravirya. They were married to Ambika and Ambalika, but unfortunately, both of them died. When Chitrangada and Vichitravirya, they died at the time, Bhishma was requested, you please rule the kingdom. So at that time, Bhishma refused. He said, I have taken the vow of celibacy. I cannot rule the kingdom now. And then by the grace of Vyasadeva, Ambika and Ambalika got two very illustrious sons. One of them was Dhritarashtra and the other was Pandu. Dhritarashtra, Pandu, they grew up in the palace. They were nourished by the love of Bhishma and other elders in the kingdom. But Dhritarashtra, although he was elderly person, he was elder to Pandu, but still he was not qualified to rule the kingdom because he was blind. He asked question why he could still rule. When the king is blind, he'll not be able to guide the people because he has to understand the kingdom's dynamics. He should be able to see the world. Because he was blind, he was disqualified. So Pandu naturally became the king. And Pandu was a person of very, very pure character. He was very pious, he was very strong. And when Pandu became the king, Pandu Maharaj single handedly conquered the entire earth. He subdued all the enemies, he established virtuousness all over the world. Everybody was in love with their king, Pandu Maharaj. And Pandu Maharaj, because he was pious, he was very spiritual, he wanted to take association of the sages. He used to occasionally go to the forest, be in the assembly of the sages, and learn wisdom from them. So, from this, we can understand that a leader should not just be a controller, but he should also be a person of virtue. He should be a pious person. So, you can see in Pandu Maharaj, there are two aspects. One is the aspect of king called Raja, and another is the aspect of a sage called Rishi. So, he is called as Raja Rishi. So, in the past, the kings were called Rajarishis, and such Rajarishis, they learned the message of Bhagavad Gita, as it is said in the 4th chapter. Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo viduhu. This knowledge of Bhagavad Gita was transferred from one king to the another king. Evam rajarshayo viduhu. The kings understood this. So that's why Bhagavad Gita is not just for sadhus who are staying in the forest. It is meant for the leaders of the society. So every leader of the society must read Bhagavad Gita. In fact, you can see that the great scientists like Albert Einstein, the great philosophers, the great politicians, even Mahatma Gandhi and several others used to read the message of Bhagavad Gita. Why not all of us? So Pandu Maharaj, when he was in the forest, he got 5 children. From Kunti, he got 3 children, namely Dharmaraya, Yudhishthira, and Bhima and Arjuna. And from Madri, he got 2 children called Nakula and Sahadeva. These 5 children were blessed by the sages and blessed by the gods. Yudhishthir was an amsha of Dharmaraya, Bhima was an amsha of Vayu, and Arjuna was an amsha of Indra. And the twins, Nakula and Sahadeva, were actually blessed by the Ashwini Kumaras, and they were their amshas. In this way, these 5 illustrious children, they grew up in the forest. And because they were in a saintly atmosphere, they learnt all the virtuous qualities. Unfortunately, in the forest, Pandu Maharaj died. And along with Pandu, Madri also died. And Kunti Maharani took care of these 5 children. And these 5 children were growing in the forest, so they knew the reality of the material world. They knew how to grow in the hardships. Here, Duryodhana, the son of Dhritarashtra, was growing in the palace. He was pampered. He had a lot of wealth. And he didn't understand the pains of this world. But here, the Pandavas, they grew up in the forest. They became tough. They understood the reality. They were compassionate to the sufferings of others. So when we go through suffering, we can understand others' suffering. A person in a glass room cannot understand what is the pains of the people who are on the streets. So Pandavas, they were young. So Kunti Maharani brought them to the palace and they grew up under the care of Bhishma. And it's at that time that Dhritarashtra, he was selfish. He wanted to usurp the kingdom. He wanted his son Duryodhana to become the king. So Dhritarashtra thought that this is the right time. Let me start planning so that my son Duryodhana becomes the king. So at that time, he told Duryodhana, poison Bhima. So once when they were playing, Bhima was poisoned. Duryodhana mixed some poison in the food. Bhima ate it. And then he fell unconscious after some time. And then Bhima was thrown into the water of the Ganges. But by the grace of the Lord, he was saved. They tried to burn the Pandavas in the house of lac. But somehow by the grace of the Lord, they were again saved. There was attack by Bakasura when they were in incognito for a year. By the grace of the Lord, they were again saved. After some time, when Pandavas came back from that forest, Dhritarashtra realized they had to give them some share of the kingdom. So then he gave a barren land called Khandavaprastha. And Yudhishthira Maharaj developed it, and that became known as Indraprastha. It became as opulent as Indra's Swarga and even more. And seeing this opulence of Indraprastha, Duryodhana became more envious. He wanted to devour the Pandavas. He wanted to destroy them. So he made a plot that I will invite them for the gambling match, and then I'll gamble and I will defeat them. See how mean can be the mentality of people who are envious. Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana, they're repeatedly plotting to kill the Pandavas and usurp their property. Don't we see some people like that in this world who are greedy for money and they want others' wealth? Such people cannot be happy in this life nor the next. It is said that for a greedy person, even the whole world is not enough. He wants more and more and more. You can also learn from the example of Hiranyakashipu. He conquered all the three worlds, but still he was not happy. Satisfaction is to be sought inside the heart, not in external things. So Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra, although they were kings of Hastinapura, they were not satisfied. And Yudhishthira was called for gambling. Yudhishthira denied initially. He said, this is not good. Gambling is a cause of several problems. So I don't want to gamble. At that time, Dhritarashtra insisted, it will be a friendly game. Just play. Then Yudhishthira Maharaj agreed. Then Yudhishthira lost his gold. He lost his land. He lost his horses. He lost his elephants. He lost the chariots, his own ornaments, and everything one by one. He lost his own brothers. He lost himself. Finally, he lost Draupadi. And the mean-minded Duryodhana, Dushasana, and Karna tried to disrobe Draupadi in the assembly. See, such a mean mentality of Dushasana and friends. So the Asuras, they can go to any extent to fulfill their desire. And here Draupadi called out to the Lord, and the Lord came in the form of a divine sari and protected Draupadi. And later on, Pandavas had to go to the forest for 13 years. 12 years of forest vanavas and 1 year of incognito ajnatavas. So much of tribulations again and again in their life, but still they maintained their equanimity because they were well versed with the message of Lord Krishna, which is Bhagavad Gita. They used the 13 years of tribulation to strengthen themselves. They made powerful alliances. They learned divine knowledge. Yudhishthira Maharaj associated with great sages and learned how to win in a gambling match so that in future he'll not be defeated. Arjuna went to the heavens and got divine weapons and became 100 times more stronger than what he was. Bhima, he married Hidimbi and got powerful son called Ghatotkacha, who played a very crucial role in the battle of Kurukshetra. He went to Hanuman and to blessings of Hanuman in Himalayas. In this way, Pandavas, although they were externally suffering in the forest, they became more stronger than what they were before. So when the 13th year came, again by the grace of the Lord, they passed the 13th year without being discovered by anyone. For more details, you have to read Mahabharata. I'm not going into the details of it. And after the 13th year, they came to Dhritarashtra and said, okay, as per condition, give us our land. We want to rule our kingdom. It's our duty as Kshatriyas to take care of others, to give protection to others. Please give us our kingdom. And in reply, Duryodhana said, I will not give the land equal to the size of the tip of the needle. And Pandavas requested, see, I don't want the whole kingdom. Yudhishthira said, just give us 5 villages. We'll be happy with it. And even for such a request, Duryodhana said, no, I will not give. Duryodhana wanted Pandavas to suffer eternally. That was a mean-minded personality. It is said that Duryodhana kind of people, they are paradukha dukhi. Not exactly. Paradukha sukhi. By seeing others suffering, he enjoys. He feels happy. But devotees like Yudhishthira, paradukha dukhi. By seeing others suffering, they feel pain. Finally, Yudhishthira Maharaj requested Krishna, and Krishna went, and he went as Shanti Dut, tried to make a mediation and then tried to avoid the war. But Duryodhana insulted Krishna, and then Krishna said, now this is it. War has to happen. So then the Pandavas and Kauravas, they started accumulating the army. And both the sides, powerful kings joined. Kauravas were about 11 Akshuhani and the Pandavas were about 7 Akshuhani. And they both wanted support of Krishna in Dwarka also. So they both went to Krishna. Arjuna and Duryodhana, they both went to Krishna, and Krishna was resting. Duryodhana sat near Krishna's head. Arjuna sat near Krishna's feet. So at that time, Krishna was resting. When he woke up, he saw Arjuna first. He was sitting at the feet. And he asked Arjuna, oh, how are you? How did you come here? I came to see you, Krishna. And Duryodhana said, I'm also here. Please look at me. Oh, you also came? Oh, both the brothers, you have come here. What brings you here? Then they said, see, the war is about to begin. We want your support. Then Krishna said, see, both of you have come. So I'll support both of you. So one of you can take my army and I'll be on another side. But I will not fight. I'll not pick up a weapon. So at that time, he gave the choice to Arjuna first. Because you are younger, you choose. And Arjuna, without any hesitation, he chose, Krishna, I want you. And Duryodhana felt relieved. Oh, I'm getting the army. I will get the army. Krishna is not going to fight. It's useless to have him. Let me get the army. So, a question to you. Who made the right choice? Arjuna or Duryodhana? Of course, Arjuna. Why? Because at the end of the war, Arjuna won. Why? Because Krishna was on his side. The supreme powerful personality was on his side. And his wisdom, Krishna's wisdom was guiding Arjuna. So he became victorious. So we should make right choices. We should make the right allies. Pandavas made allies with Drupada. They made allies with Yadus like Krishna and Satyaki. So powerful personalities were there in the side of Arjuna. And there were others on the side of Kauravas. Both of them, they assembled in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And Dhritarashtra was not there in the battlefield because he was blind. He was sitting in his palace and he was hearing from Sanjaya, and Sanjaya was speaking, and Sanjaya, with his divine vision, he was seeing the Kurukshetra battle, and thus begins Bhagavad Gita. Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yoyotsavaha Mamaka Pandavastraiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya. Dhritarashtra asks a question. My sons and Pandu sons, they have assembled in Kurukshetra. What happens? Please tell me. And Sanjay says, Drishtva tu Pandavanekam Vyudham Duryodhanastada Acharyam Vaksangamya Raja Vachanam Abravit. Your son Duryodhana goes to Dronacharya and is telling, see, the army, Pashaitan, Panduputrana, Acharya Mahatim Chamum, see the Pandavas, such a big army, 7 Akshoni, they just came out of the forest and they have 7 Akshoni. It's bewildering. How did they make such a big army? And see, your disciple Drishtadumna is there, and so many powerful warriors are there. And of course, we are also not less. We have you, Bhishma, we have Drona, we have many other great personalities like Karna, Shakuni, Duryodhana. So many are there. So you are also not less. So at that time, Bhishma blows the conch and Kauravas blow the conch, and then Pandavas also blow the conch, and war is declared. And at that time, Arjuna requests Krishna, Senayor Uvayor Madhye Ratam Sthapya Metruta Yavadeta Niriksheham Yuddhakamanavastitam. Krishna, please take me in between. I want to see who has come to fight with him. At that time, Krishna takes the chariot in between, and Arjuna sees. He says, Bhishma Drona Pramukataha Sarvesham cha Mahikshitam Vachapartha Pashaitan. He says, Krishna says, see all these people. And seeing this, Arjuna gets anxiety, tension. I should fight with them? It is not possible, Krishna. Then he gives several reasons. And then he says, oh, it's beyond me to fight with them. And then he gets confused and he puts his bow down and he sits like this, with his head in his hands, confused. And Krishna smiles. Then he starts speaking Bhagavad Gita. So let's begin the journey now. In the next session, we'll begin discussing the important topics of Bhagavad Gita, starting from A for Atma, the basic knowledge, understanding which our life will get transformed and we'll get a new outlook towards this world. Hare Krishna.